Alexandre. Alexandre is 8 years the elder, has the height over the tie, has the reach in the arms, and a 4-incher in the legs. Experts fight gauge for this one. Nattawut and Alexandre even in the kick department. Alexandre boxes better, both great with knees. Alexandre powerhouse with the elbows, powerhouse overall.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Lion Fight Promotions presents our special attraction, our co-main event of the evening. 5 rounds in the super middleweight division. Judging will be Eric Colon, Brian Miner, and David Torelli. Our referee is Thomas Sconzo. Introducing first, he'll be fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing white and gold, and he weighed in at 163 pounds. His professional record, 50 victories, 10 defeats, and 2 draws. Now fighting out of Atlanta, Georgia, ladies and gentlemen, here is Joe Nattawut. And this woman fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the blue trunks, and he weighed in at 165 pounds. His record, 43 victories, 14 defeats, including 1 draw. And he comes to us from Santos, Brazil. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Cosmo Alexandre.
All right, gentlemen, went over the rules, obey my commands at all times, fight fair, protect yourselves at all times, have a good fight, touch them up if you want.
Thomas Sconzo, the final instructions. These men opened the betting at -245 Cosmo, +175 Nattawut. They close at Cosmo -315. They come back on Nattawut at +235. In the corner there with Nattawut, one of the all-time greats, a man I commentated, it must have been close to 19 years ago, I reckon. Kunpon. Fought all over the world, fought in Australia a number of times. The great Kunpon in the corner of Nattawut. This one should be good. Cosmo Alexandre, who needs to front up for legacy in mixed martial arts in just a few weeks' time. Will he try and finish Nattawut quickly here? Will he sit back and play it safe for 5 rounds? Nattawut's not the type of guy you want to clinch up with and allow him to work the elbows because he can cut you. Filling up process early here. Ties are traditionally very slow in the opening round. If Cosmo wanted to pounce, here's where he'd do it.
Interesting, when you fight a true tie, you look at their lower legs, huge calves, bouncing on those tires their whole life, building up those calves and those legs, they're like iron.
Early taste of the hand power from Cosmo, even though it caught the forearms of Nattawut, it sent the tie back a couple of paces. First clinch of the fight. Let's see who prevails here. It's a knee from Cosmo. Knee from Nattawut. Nice knee from Nattawut to the upper left thigh. Gets airborne on the knee. Cosmo tries to dump him. Nattawut won't take any of it. Solid clinch. Nattawut still relatively new to the Muay Thai game, given Thai standards. He's only been fighting for 8 years.
24 years old, 8 years younger than Alexandre, but same experience.
It's a beautiful body shot in there from Cosmo Alexandre. The good boy, they call him, Cosmo Alexandre, formerly used to be known as Hoost. The reason why? Technically superb, like the 4-time K1 world champion, Ernesto Hoost. Left round. Nattawut hands up nicely, turned outside. That'll allow him to throw the elbows a lot easier should Cosmo get in range. Cosmo checks the low kick.
Amazing these guys can go from 0, standing almost still, to 110 in the blink of an eye.
Teep kick to the lead leg from Nattawut. Outside leg kick, Nattawut. Cosmo wants to work the knee, drills it under the right arm. Nattawut puts Cosmo against the ropes. Nattawut glancing to his corner. Kunpam barking the instruction to the Thai. Cosmo, who is sporting the Thai flag on one thigh, the Brazilian flag on the other thigh, lives back in Brazil these days, spends his days surfing and training. I also do a lot of surfing, Pat.
on the internet.
High left roundhouse from the tie. Teep to the leg from Nattawut. Good knee there from Nattawut in the clinch, then goes down to the thigh of Cosmo. Cosmo tries to put on a knee guard. We go to the towels at the end of 1. Plenty of instructions in both corners here. Cosmo Alexandre and Nattawut. The Good Boy family camp in the corner of Cosmo. Camp Bangkok Boxing Kunpon in the corner of Nattawut.
Second jump, school's out. Second jump, school's out.
Pat scorecard after 1 round. 10-9 Nattawut. Good knees on the inside from the tie. Nice little teeps to the lead leg.
Back up, please.
Second of 5, our co-main event, line fight 17. Michael Chavello,
Wait.
Pat Miletich, Rovan Ronnie Kruk with you. Again, just dipping their toes in the water here. Outside leg kick from Nattawut. Cosmo defensively has always been one of the most impressive guys to watch in Muay Thai. Really tight on his defense.
Nice.
Look at the way he catches these round kicks of Nattawut. He'll fire back with a counter, clinches him up and drills a knee. Beautiful transition from Cosmo Alexandre.
Yeah, hit that skip. Made it look like the lead leg was coming when it was actually the punches. Great setup.
Peppering with the lead hand, outside leg kick from Nattawut. Cosmo look for a catch and counter. They tie up again. Knees from both these men. Nattawut switches up to the left leg with his knees now.
Cosmo blocking that nicely. See how he flares that leg out to block that knee coming in from the side.
Nice. The referee breaks up Cosmo in the midst of a knee. Come on, referee Sconzo. You've got to let him get a move on with it a little more. Let them work the clinch. It's the co-main event here.
Cosmo kicked the elbow that time with Nattawut. That can hurt.
Body goes Cosmo. Look to loop the left hand up to the head. Teep kick from Nattawut. Outside leg kick, catch, counter from Cosmo. Couldn't get the counter, went for a high knee. He times that so well, Pat, the way he catches the kicking leg.
Yeah, I'd like to see him release a little quicker. He's trying to wait for something to develop. Maybe just pull the trigger a little quicker.
High left roundhouse switch up from Nattawut, then goes to the body of Cosmo.
Cosmo knew he was out of position when he missed that right hand. Got that right hand back up before the kick hit, though.
Jab 2 high left round from the tie. Cosmo backs him up. Outside leg kick to the back leg goes the Brazilian. Checks the low kick, does Cosmo. Nice scoop of the round kick.
Great defense again by Cosmo Alexandre. Beautiful stuff.
Teep kicks. Cosmo looking for a downward elbow. Jumped into the clinch here with Nattawut. Wrenches around the tie. Good knee. Curls it up off the left. Nattawut off the right. Another scoring knee from both men. Knee from Nattawut. Cosmo returns a favour. Dead centre of the ring. Neither man can execute a dump and they break off. High left round from Nattawut. Probes with the jab, gets that round kick away again. No switch up that time off the lead leg. Outside leg kick, Nattawut.
This guy's defense is so good, both of them, so sharp.
This is shaping up into a tremendous fight and a very, very close one. Outside leg kick, Cosmo. Leg strike after the bell, didn't connect, gives a smile, touch of the gloves, we're okay. Folks, next week, something new here on Access TV. We say hello to CES MMA number 25. That's August 8, 9 p.m. Eastern. Right here on Access TV. Fights from Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island. That's where we'll be on Friday night. Place I've never been to. Looking forward to it. Join us. CES MMA.
ใช่ไหม
Couldn't
ต่อย
bite.
ดีเลยนะแต่ออกเยอะกว่านี้เข้าใจไหม
In the corner
ออกเลย
of Nattawut.
นะชนะแล้ว
No, it was interesting, Pat. I saw both guys having lunch today. The difference being I saw Cosmo sitting at the bar with his entire crew. He was eating a chocolate sundae. I went for a walk. I saw Nattawut sitting by himself in the Chinese restaurant eating dumplings. Difference in preparation. 1 round apiece after 2-3 rounds to go here. Co-main event, line fight 17. Fake from Nattawut. Good leg kick from the tie. Did he clip the cup of Cosmo? Outside leg kick, Cosmo checks it. Jab, jab, up a nice high roundhouse kick there from Nattawut. Steps through for the clinch, throws the knee. Cosmo looks to return the favour.
Both guys even with those lead knees.
Scoops the round kick out of the way to Cosmo. Looking on the money defensively here tonight. Cosmo Alexandre, jab 2 from the tie. Thought about the front kick off the back leg. Goes the outside leg kick. Cosmo catches it, follows through. One crack was afraid he was going to get splattered there. That will spill over the ropes.
Cosmo almost dumped him on our table.
Cracking round kick from Cosmo. Switched up off the lead leg nicely.
And Nattawut, lightning fast, fired back with his left leg.
Catch again. Jumping knee. Caught him on the jaw. And Nattawut does a quick count of his teeth.
Something in the groin.
Take a look at what went down here. The groin strike to Cosmo. Flies up here for the knee.
Jumped into the knee.
Little knee off the left leg there from Nattawut.
It's called self-inflicted on that one.
Left roundhouse from Nattawut. And again, in triplicate from the tie. Very difficult fight to score so far, because one man will throw technique, throw combinations and score, then the other man will throw combinations and score.
Or both are throwing techniques and not scoring at all because their defense is so good. Very few of these techniques are actually getting through. But you can tell the level that these guys are at by how good their defense is.
Cosmo scoops that roundhouse kick again, so he goes to the inside, find Nattawut. That scores for him. The jab, body shot, Cosmo, left hook, moves into the clinch. Chance for the knees here. Cosmo tries to thread that left knee over the top. He'll dump him, yes he does. Good work from Cosmo Alexandre.
And he turned that dump into a knee tap, which is a wrestling technique. Might have got that from working out with a few MMA boys, huh?
Good technique from Cosmo. Catches that round kick again. They aren't connecting to Cosmo's ribs as Nattawut is hoping. Right hand falls short for the tie. Seems to be a little bit more work rate out of the legs from Nattawut. Not necessarily scoring, but working more with those legs. Switch here from Cosmo. Roundhouse from the Brazilian. Outside leg kick, Nattawut. Counter hands from Cosmo.
Nice exchange.
Going to be a hard round to call. It could be a drawn round, that one, folks.
End of the round, they were getting after it here. Nice exchange. Alexandre coming in, blocking that kick nicely. Beautiful knee and then a kick to the liver on Alexandre. Nattawut trying to injure the body. Knock the wind out of him. Here it is again. Alexandre's going for broke there. Woke Nattawut up. Nattawut was ready to go. Firing right back.
How do you score it, folks? Kumbon in the corner of Nattawut. Good boy Camp in the corner of Cosmo. Pat's scorecard here, he gives it 10-9. Cosmo Alexandre in the previous 2 rounds to 1 in favor of the Brazilian. We head into the 4th.
These rounds are so close, though. I mean, it's hard to pick.
Referee Sconzo gets us back underway. Probing jab here from Cosmo. Measuring for that front kick. Nicely done. Let's go to Ron Crump. Ron.
Guys, there was a very animated Nattawut corner, and his whole team was yelling to him, let it go, let it go. Leave nothing in the ring. Michael?
Thank you, Ron. And indeed, it's a good call from the corner of Nattawut. He's got to start letting it go here and got to start opening up on Cosmo. But really, folks, you could score this a dead even fight after 3 rounds. It's anyone's for the taking. Really hard to call.
Break.
And just like true Thai style, they're picking it up. They picked it up in the 3rd. Now they're going for it in the 4th.
Good combination there from Cosmo. Looks to catch the kicking leg. You see where Cosmo is landing with the hands, Nattawut seems to be landing more with the leg kicks. Outside leg kick from Nattawut. Right hand from Cosmo. Steps in for a knee. Couldn't connect. Knee from Nattawut. Twice off the right. Make it 3 times off the right. Not really turning the knee into those, however. And referee breaks it.
Cosmo Alexandre not fighting like he's got to fight in a couple of weeks, huh?
Very true. Takes on a very tough opponent at Legacy in Ben Brewer. Former Bellator fighter.
Ironically, Brewer's fighting tonight also in an MMA match.
Nice step through knee from Nattawut. Will score for him, and again off the right there. Cosmo checks the 3rd knee.
Break.
Referee Sconzo breaks them. Left roundhouse from Nattawut. Front kick to the midsection. Digs into the guts. Inside leg kick. Counter from Cosmo was the right hand. See, I feel Nattawut scored the more in this round, Pat, so far.
He's definitely scored with the kicks.
Break. Good. Back up.
I feel there's been more scoring kicks from Nattawut than there have been scoring hands from Cosmo.
Yeah.
Nattawut comes forward, takes that kick on the forearm. Moves in for a clinch. Cosmo stuffs the attempt. Tied up against the ropes. Knee from Nattawut. Looks to duck Cosmo. Can't, though.
Break. Back up.
Good break there from referee Sconzo. Nattawut looks to his corner, gives a little nod. Kumkom giving the instructions. Outside leg kick gets caught. Counter right hand to the body from Cosmo. Cosmo looks for a dub, catches the kicking leg. Looks at the counter elbow, couldn't connect.
Pulled him into that elbow, though. Pretty cool technique to snap him into it. Yank that leg so he pulls the body in.
I'm going to say Nattawut's round here in the 4th. I also feel that in the clinch he's landed more knees than Cosmo had.
He has.
Cosmo's had the better hands. Nattawut's had the better kicks and the better knees. I'll give it to the Thai.
Cosmo Alexandre catching the kick, driving him back to the ropes, and then flying knee. They almost both came flying out of the ring. That's some explosiveness. And you saw Nattawut. It's a great technique when somebody catches your kick. You pull your foot back and then you hit a push kick. He did it in the face of Cosmo. Nice shot to the body there off the catch. Hasn't been able to land a whole lot of headshots off those cut kicks, so he decided to go to the body.
Fifth and final round. Nattawut's in the 4th and makes it 2 rounds apiece after 4. It is all to do for the last 3 minutes. They touch gloves. Cosmo Alexandre, Joe Nattawut.
Think we're going to see some action in this round, Mike?
We've seen a lot of action so far. It's just that they've been mirroring each other so much. You've got the hands and the counters of Cosmo versus the kick output and the knees of Nattawut.
Amazing technique out of these two. A lot of power, speed, agility.
It really is.
These guys are ridiculous.
Oh, a beautiful jump there from Cosmo. Just glanced him on the right tree.
That was sick.
Knees from Nattawut.
So who in the MMA world wants to strike with Cosmo Alexandre? Raise your hand.
Very, very strong. Been around the traps for a long time in Muay Thai. We will see him front up on Legacy August 29 here live on Access TV. Step through knee from Nattawut. We want to know how you're scoring it, folks. Let us know on Twitter. We've got an even fight after 4. You know, sitting this close to these two guys, and if you're watching it on television, you can see these sweat just fly off them when they land these kicks and these knees and the beautiful punches of Cosmo. Nice dump there from Nattawut. That'll do well for it. Nattawut's corner again. I don't understand the tie, but I get the feeling they're saying go. Go for it now. He's got 1:30, halfway point of the round.
Doesn't step with his jab, though. That's something a lot of times ties will do, is they don't have great boxing footwork, but boy, they're great at everything else.
Spinning back over from Cosmo. Hooks the leg, negates the knees off the left there from Cosmo. Referee Sconzo pulling at those ropes to get him off there. Cosmo throws him into the ropes. Was looking to bounce him off and work an elbow. Didn't work out for him. Nattawut's got to get out of the corner here. Fakes the right hand. Outside leg kick from the tie. Body shot from Cosmo. Nattawut works the knee again. Cosmo with a dump, beautifully done.
1-to-1 on dumps. Before that, though, when they were trapped against the ropes, right side of Nattawut was stuck against the ring. Cosmo knew he didn't even have to raise his left arm. He knew the right leg couldn't come, so he just held his right hand up because he knew the left leg was the weapon of choice. Very good ring awareness.
20 seconds for someone to try and steal it like a thief. For the night. Cosmo lining him up for something, maybe a roundhouse off the right leg. Cosmo smiling at him, trying to sucker him into the right hand perhaps. Nattawut won't fall for it. That's the overhand right. And clinch up, and this is how the fight ends. 5 rounds of action, and this one is going to be harder to pick than a broken nose. I don't know, Pat. Could go either way.
Holy cow. Cosmo getting after it, he was faking a flying knee is what he was doing. Faked with the right, then the left leg came up, then he landed the right hand. Here, look at the leg work here, being smart, hits a little sweep, gets the hips in and dumps Nattawut down. A lot of stuff going on with the legs. You got to pay attention, see how they prance. They fake, they're repositioning constantly, blocking each other's knees. That's some serious high-level stuff, and then bumps the legs and takes them out from underneath him. Sweet stuff.
Total scorecard here for Pat Miletich has at one point in favour of Cosmo Alexandre. It really could go either way. Whoever wins this one, I will not be surprised unless it's a very lopsided card, which it shouldn't be. Will it be Joe Nattawut? Will it be Cosmo Alexandre? Does he look relatively unscathed here, Cosmo, who has to front up for Legacy Fighting Championship on August 29?
It's those defensive skills we talked about against a world-class Nattawut, man. Both these guys are impressive individuals. Cosmo's built of iron, but...
Let's go to Jake Gutierrez.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds on our co-main event, we go to the scorecards. We have a split decision. Judge Brian Miner scored this bout 48-47. He favored Nattawut. Judge Eric Lone scored the bout 48-47 in favor of Alexander. And Judge Dave Torelli scored the bout 48-47 for the winner by split decision, Joe Nattawut.
The tightest of decisions goes the way of Joe Nattawut over Cosmo Alexandre. Split decision. Great sportsman.